Hello YouTubers, and welcome to Novus Talks with me, your host, Novus Gorvius. And it's been over a year since I've properly talked about Bayonetta 3, mostly because we've had absolutely nothing to talk about. But in the last week or so, Hideki Kamiya has been saying some stuff that is actually substantial for once. He's not just saying his usual, oh, the game is going well. We've seen that we're most likely going to get an update on the game. And according to his most recent words, that update could be coming very soon. So first of all, this goes back to a phone call or something that was leaked. And he talks about how they're aiming to show an update for Bayonetta 3 in 2021. And apparently he wasn't even supposed to divulge this information, but now it's out in the open. And then, I want to say maybe a day or two ago, there was this other information that came out that said he was basically telling fans to forget about Bayonetta 3 so that we don't drive ourselves crazy, which is understandable because I've been doing that with Metroid Prime 4 and Breath of the Wild 2 and Bayonetta 3 to an extent. I've just kind of forgotten these games existed because if I think about them all day 24/7, I'm going to go crazy otherwise. So that is something that I do agree with him on that. Now, this raises the question of when are we going to see Bayonetta 3? Is it actually a 2021 game? And I think we're in the final stretch here. I think Bayonetta 3 is coming out this year, and I think we're going to see it very soon, at last. See, I think the big problem all along, ever since it was announced in 2017, is that all the fans, and I'm really guilty of this myself, we've been expecting a game in the vein of Bayonetta 2. We've been expecting something of that size and of that limit, basically. But from his earlier words from back when the game was announced and from stuff we've heard over the years, it seems like they're really going for a really big game. This isn't just going to be another Bayonetta 2 type game. This is going to be something much bigger. And in his own words, they're hoping to make the best action game ever. So I don't even know what to expect at this point. If this game really is as big as he's making it out to be, then I guess the amount of development time this game took is warranted. I've been operating under the idea that Bayonetta 3 is going to be the same size as Bayonetta 2. And I think that's what's been bothering us the most over the last few years, but it's important to keep that in mind now. And so with this information, that leaves us with two questions. The first one being, when are we going to see the game? And the next being, when is it coming out? So, as for when we're going to see the game, I don't know. He specifically mentions January and that there's a lot of the year left and there's still some time. So, I don't know if that means they're planning something in February or if they're planning something in summer. I'm thinking, to give them the benefit of the doubt with this game, Bayonetta 3 will be a September-October release. I've seen a few people going with that as well, and Bayonetta 2 had a September release, I believe, so I guess it makes sense. Plus it gives them the extra few months to put the finishing touches on the game. And so if we operate off that assumption, I think it's safe to assume then that we could see info at the latest E3, or around the time E3 would be if the actual event doesn't happen this year, which it most likely won't. So around June would be the latest I'd say we see the game, and anywhere between now and then. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this is, let's look at Nintendo's, I suppose, schedule so far. In a few days, 2 weeks almost, Super Mario 3D World is coming out. And then February 21st is going to be the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, so it's reasonable to assume Nintendo's going to have something big planned for that. And maybe they put out a limited edition collection that lasts 4 months or whatever. But it's safe to assume they'll do something for the next couple of months for that, and that will be their priority focus. And maybe Pokemon on top of that as well. And if we're lucky, Metroid in August. So Bayonetta 3 could be shown, I would say, between February to August. That's assuming Metroid is getting something and assuming Zelda is getting something. All speculation, we have no idea what Nintendo's planned. But if we operate within this time frame here, the most reasonable time to me is E3, but outside of E3, I'm thinking possibly late April, early May. I'm thinking that. It seems to make the most sense to me, but I could be completely wrong. We could see the game tomorrow, or we could see it in September and it comes out at Christmas. There's no way to tell because we don't know the size of the game, so we can't tell the development time needed based on that. And we don't know Nintendo's schedule for the year overall, so it's all up in the air. Your guess is as good as mine on this matter, but I do think we are on the verge of an imminent reveal of this game. And I hope it's something big, you know. I don't want another CG trailer. I expect full gameplay, and like, if it's a trailer, a full 2 to 3 minute trailer, and if it's like a gameplay reveal, the first few minutes of the game, obviously. And now, will they do it? How will they show this information? Are they going to do it in a Bayonetta Direct? Since that seems to be what they've been doing lately, since proper Nintendo Directs seem to be gone for good. They seem to be focusing on shadow dropping reveals on Twitter, and occasional games get their own Nintendo Direct. Bayonetta 3 is one of the most highly anticipated games for the Switch. It's the top 3. So I think it does deserve its own Direct, and maybe Nintendo sees it that way as well. I mean, Monster Hunter got its own Direct. Obviously, Monster Hunter is a bigger franchise than Bayonetta, but if something like Monster Hunter can get focused to itself, I think it's not too far off to presume that Bayonetta 3 would get the same treatment. So I guess in summary here, my general idea is that we might get a Bayonetta Direct in somewhere between April and June, and the game comes out in September, October. Who knows? As I said, your guess is as good as mine. And obviously, if there is any more news between now and then, I will cover it, and obviously I will do a trailer reaction and all that stuff when we finally do get information. But I'm finally starting to get excited now because it's been complete silence all along, and you've heard me say in multiple videos that I believe the game to be cancelled, but now that we're seeing actual traction with this, my hopes are starting to go up again, and that can only be a good thing. But yeah, those are just my thoughts and opinions. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of this news? When do you think we're going to see Bayonetta 3? When do you think the release date is? Is it actually coming this year? Is Hideki Kamiya just trolling us yet again? What do you expect to see from the game? Will it get its own Nintendo Direct? I want to hear everything you have to say down in the comment section below. And yeah, with that all said, thank you all for watching and please subscribe. Nova Scorpius out.